Hello, wizards, witches, and everyone in between. My name is Emma, and today I'm finally doing my Q&A. I wanted to mention, I made a Bookstagram account. It is muggleglamour, just like this channel, just like my Twitter. So I have that link down below now, and I am now a book depository affiliate. So I'm not sponsored by them, they're not paying me or anything, but if you guys want to buy anything through Book Depository, if you click the link in my description, then I will receive something back from that. So just thought I'd update you on some changes in my description box. Alright, so bit of a background change. The room where all of my bookshelves are is incredibly hot all the time, and I don't know why, but I don't feel like getting sweaty today. So we're out in my living room, and I'm kind of coming to terms with the fact that I don't need to have bookshelves or books in the background of my videos in order to make booktube videos. So we'll probably be out here for a while. This Q&A, you guys gave me questions for this over a month ago, so it's high time that I answer them. I'm very excited. Thank you to everyone who sent in questions, and I have about 40 of them, so I'm just gonna get started. Okay, so number one is, what is the best comment you've received since starting your YouTube channel? There's been a lot of really nice comments. The one that I think stands out, or the one that I thought of first, was a fairly recent one where Hannah from Snow White Reader liked my Kathy Rigby Peter Pan shirt, which I'm taking to mean that she also enjoys Kathy Rigby's Peter Pan, which is a huge obsession of mine, and that makes me really happy that someone else enjoys it, so I'm gonna go with that one. Question number two, what are your favorite videos to film? I think my favorite videos to film, I really love wrap-ups, but I'm also having a fun time doing reading vlogs when I'm in the mood to do them, and just being able to share my thoughts on books in like real time with you guys and not have to try and remember what I wanted to say at the end of the month. What book do you wish existed? This is a very good question. I would love a 12 Dancing Princesses retelling with like the main two princesses being diverse in a variety of ways, but I just love that basic story so much. That was like my favorite fairy tale when I was a kid, and so I would love to see that turned into something else. What are some of your favorite spots to read? This couch is a big one. If I lay in bed, I get tired, so I try not to do that, especially if I'm reading during the day. I try to read out here on the couch, or on the off chance that I am up, my family has a cabin. If I am up there, then I will read up there because it's like the ultimate cozy reading time. What is one book you think everyone should read? I think anyone who enjoys dystopian should read The Giver. I feel like I always talk about that, but The Giver by Lois Lowry is just such a great starting off point for that, and I don't know, I really enjoy that, even though it's like kind of like a middle grade. I just think it has a lot to say. But that's a hard question because everyone has different reading preferences. So, you know, what I would recommend to someone might not work for someone else. So it's kind of hard to say that everyone should read something because it won't be everyone's cup of tea. So I don't know. I just feel like I always am recommending The Giver to people. Who is one person, dead or alive, you wish you could sit down with and talk for a day? The biggest two that I cannot choose between are either Virginia Woolf or Marilyn Monroe. What is the best advice you've ever received? Ugh, I don't know. I honestly can't think of like one time when someone like sat down and were like, here's some advice for you. But I think just generally, and I don't know if I gave this advice to myself, if I figured it out for myself, or if someone told me, but for me, being a very anxious person, I try to keep in mind the idea of taking things one day at a time. Like, that phrase is always in my head, and it really helps me calm down and focus on taking one day at a time, like it says. So probably that one. What's your favorite memory of you and your husband from back when you were dating? That's hard because there's a lot of them. One that stands out is just like our first kiss, or like when we first moved in together and we're like setting up our first apartment and going grocery shopping together for the first time and doing laundry together for the first time. That was all fun. So yeah, I don't really think I have like one specific one, but there's been a lot. What's your favorite memory since you've been married? I haven't been married that long. I got married in November of last year, so it hasn't been a year yet, but I mean, I love Disneyland. We both love Disneyland, and we went to Disneyland for our honeymoon, so I have a lot of just fun Disneyland memories just because I love being there. Another favorite one was recently, I tweeted this, but my husband woke up really early, and then I woke up like 3 hours later, and I walked out to the living room and he was reading the first Harry Potter. That was a good memory because I was so happy that he was finally reading it. I really love like traveling with him, so I think our day trips to Santa Cruz, our honeymoon in Disneyland, those kind of memories really like stick in my head. If we go to the cabin, anything like that. What's the video you've made that you're most proud of? I think my Disney Channel tag is what I'm most proud of. So far, I am working on my song parody, my booktube like song parody, and I think I'll probably be most proud of that when that comes out, but I'll also be most embarrassed about it because I sing in it and I have no confidence in my singing ability. How many Funko Pops do you have in your collection, and what others do you plan to buy? Probably 12 or 15. I have bought none of them for myself. I am gifted them, and what ones I plan to buy, I don't know. I don't want to collect them in the sense of like having Funko Pops that represent every pop culture thing that I like. I don't want that kind of clutter, so I feel like I'm almost done, honestly, with collecting them because I would like Coraline. I have Coraline the other mother, but I would like Coraline herself. And I want to complete my Disney Princess collection because I still have like 5 princesses that I'm missing, and I love the Disney princesses. But other than that, other than those ones, I'm not really interested in getting a lot more. I wouldn't mind Harry, Ron, and Hermione because I only have the villains. But yeah, we'll see. I also want a Katniss so bad. So I guess there are a lot I still want. How does your significant other feel about your booktube channel? He is very supportive. I mean, he used to make YouTube videos and he watches YouTube videos, so he's supportive. If you could travel to any other book world other than Hogwarts, where would it be? So the key word in this for me is travel, not live. So if I could travel somewhere for like the day, I think I would travel to Wonderland, but I would definitely not want to live there. How did you and your husband meet? To make a very long story short, so I went to get my bachelor's degree in theater and I didn't like the program, and so I switched to psychology, but I still wanted to get a degree in theater because that has been my hobby for my whole life. And so I went to my local community college to get an associate's degree in theater, and that's how I met my husband. We met at auditions for The Taming of the Shrew. If you had to only read one book or book series for the rest of your life, what book or book series would you pick? Right now, at the time in my life right now, I'd probably say The Hunger Games, because I do reread those a lot and I don't get tired of them. Harry Potter's an obvious choice, but I don't want to say that as my answer because I'll end up answering that for half of these questions. So I think if it wasn't that, it'd probably be The Hunger Games. I think picking a series would be smart because there are multiple books, so you get less bored. If you could read only one genre for the rest of your life, what would it be? I think magical realism. How do you come out of a reading slump? You gotta give it time. first of all, but also I find watching booktube videos very helpful, especially reading vlogs. Like seeing other people read and getting all cozy with like a blanket and a book, it makes me want to do the same thing. Which fictional character do you relate to the most? I think her name is Aza. The main character from Turtles All the Way Down by John Green, I relate to a lot. I also relate to Katniss from the Hunger Games and Luna Lovegood from Harry Potter. What fictional world do you want to live in? I would say either the Wizarding World or Neverland. Favorite TV shows? The Office, House, Game of Thrones, and SpongeBob? Favorite movie? Okay, my favorite movie is a three-way tie between 3 movies. So it's either the original animated Cinderella, Steven Spielberg's War of the Worlds, or Titanic. Favorite Disney character? Cinderella, hands down. I'm obsessed with Cinderella and all things related to her and that movie. What are some small booktubers you love? I will be doing a shout out video very soon, so I'm gonna save that question and I'll talk about that more in that video, but I'm planning on doing seasonal shout out videos. Dream superpower? Invisibility. My introverted, shy self would love to be invisible sometimes. How many countries have you been to, and what are the top 3 countries you want to visit in the future? Unfortunately, I have never been outside of the US. I have traveled to, like, I've gone to Hawaii, I've gone to Texas, I've gone to the East Coast, to like Rhode Island, Maryland, Virginia, Boston, places like that. I'm aware Boston isn't a state, but so I've been around the US a bit, but I have never been out of the country. I really would like to go to Canada, and Australia and New Zealand are probably my top 3. I have family in Australia and they always have to fly all the way over here to see the rest of my family. So I would like to be able to go over there and see them, as well as just explore Australia. Which books do you love but almost everyone hates, and vice versa? I couldn't think of one that I hate that everyone else loves, because there aren't really that many books that I hate. If I don't like it, I just won't finish it. I don't like hate read anything. I don't know, like people hate Twilight, but I'm like, it's just not my cup of tea. That doesn't mean that people aren't allowed to like it. So I don't really hate any book, but I do really like The Clockwork Orange, which I think a lot of people don't like that book. So yeah. How many books do you own? Okay, so yesterday I counted that I have 70 unread books that I own, and it takes up like 3 shelves. So I would guess about 200. Favorite and least favorite book you've read so far this year? So my least favorite was definitely Hurry Down Sunshine by Michael Greenberg. I gave that 1 star, and I very rarely give anything 1 star, but the only reason I didn't DNF it was because I was listening to it as an audiobook. That was not good. And my favorite ones, I have a couple. I really loved Becoming by Michelle Obama, and most recently I really loved And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie and Pet Sematary by Stephen King. Favorite season? Fall and winter are hands down my favorite seasons. I think I like them equally. Probably just where I live in California, since we don't really have a fall. It's still hot even in the fall months. I would probably have to say winter. Are you a Potterhead? Yes. If so, favorite character and favorite book? My favorite character is Remus Lupin. A close second is Lucius Malfoy. And I think my favorite book is Prisoner of Azkaban, but I'm currently in the middle of rereading that series, so maybe that'll change. But as of right now, yeah, it's Prisoner of Azkaban. Who is your favorite character from The Cruel Prince? Jude or Nicasia? Is that how we decided to say her name? I don't know, but she's from the second one. I really liked her. What's your favorite childhood book? Magic Treehouse, the one with the saber-toothed tiger, or the one with Pompeii, or the pterodactyl one, or the BFG by Roald Dahl. What's your favorite book cover? This is hard. I'm not a big book cover person. I'll just buy any edition of whatever. I don't really care what the cover looks like, so I don't spend that much time thinking about that, honestly. But I really like the Wicked Kings cover, the Barnes & Noble edition. I don't know. I'm not big on covers, really. I don't really care what they look like. As long as the book's good, that's what matters. What was the first book that got you into reading, and what are your current feelings about that book? Well, I think chapter book-wise, not picture books, Magic Treehouse got me into reading, because I've been reading since I was very young. So obviously my opinion on those haven't changed, but I don't read them anymore. So I guess my first series that I still read would be Harry Potter, and I obviously still love it. My favorite LGBTQ+ read. I think right now I'd have to say I Wish You All the Best by Mason Deaver. The first book you read because of BookTube. So it's been years. I've been watching BookTube for a very long time. So I don't know. I started getting really into it, I think in 2012 or 13. I guess the author, Leigh Bardugo, has been talked about so much since I've kind of rejoined BookTube within the last year that I guess I'd have to go with that, because I'm currently reading the Grisha trilogy, I guess because of BookTube. What is your least favorite genre? I don't really have a least favorite. I kind of read a little bit of everything, but I think if I had to just go with what I read the least, it would be nonfiction. Who is your favorite book character? This is so difficult to answer. I think the first one that comes to mind is Katniss Everdeen from The Hunger Games, so I'll just go with that. I could go on and on about why I love her so much. What's your favorite quote? My favorite quote is, "You cannot find peace by avoiding life," and that is by Virginia Woolf. And the last question is, what is one author you will never read? And I think that has to be either Anna Todd or E.L. James. I'm sorry it took so long for me to film this, but I hope you all are having a wonderful day, and I will talk to you later. Bye!